You send a careful message. Then another paragraph explaining the first paragraph. You add context, soften the wording, and provide examples nobody asked for. By the end, you are no longer clarifying a fact. You are negotiating custody of your identity. The need to be understood is human. Trust, work, love, and safety can depend on accurate communication. But there is a point where explanation stops serving truth and starts begging for a verdict. Please say I am reasonable. Please say I am good. Please return the version of me I tried to send. This is not advice to stay silent while a lie damages your work, money, safety, or reputation. Correct what has consequences. Keep evidence when evidence matters. The question is not whether you may explain. It is whether another explanation can still improve reality. In the first episode, we separated fact, story, and next action. In the second, we chose among clarification, a boundary, and release. Tonight, we face the moment after clarification, when you have spoken clearly and still do not feel heard. 3 different events can produce that same feeling. They may have misheard your meaning. They may understand and disagree. Or they may be distorting your words because distortion serves them. Treating all 3 as misunderstanding is how a clear sentence becomes an endless defense. Imagine you decline a weekend request at work because you already covered the last 2. A colleague replies, so you do not care about the team. Your thumb hovers over the phone. 600 words gather behind one simple no. Before you send them, ask a harder question. Could this person state your reason fairly, even while rejecting it? If yes, more explanation may not create understanding. It may only continue a negotiation over whether your reason is allowed. A 2024 study across 11 experiments found a stubborn pattern. Speakers rated disagreeing listeners as worse listeners, even when the listener's actual listening behavior was held constant. We often use agreement as the receipt that proves we were heard. That does not mean every listener is attentive. Some interrupt, dismiss, manipulate, or refuse plain evidence. It means the feeling of being unheard is not a perfect measurement. Sometimes the message arrived. What did not arrive was the verdict you wanted. This is where explanation quietly becomes identity control. You are not only asking them to know what happened. You are asking them to certify who you are. But no sentence, however perfect, can force another mind to issue the correct certificate. Epictetus offered a severe little sentence for moments like this. It seemed so to him. The point is not that every judgment is true. The point is that judgment happens inside the other person's field of vision, not yours. You may correct their angle. You may offer evidence. You may ask them to look again. What you cannot do is climb behind their eyes and arrange the final image. Stoic control is not indifference. It is accurate ownership. Marcus Aurelius compressed the social duty into 6 words. Teach them then or bear with them. Teach when truth can still move. Bear when another person's conclusion will not. Notice the order. Teach first if the matter deserves it. But teaching is not 14 closing arguments delivered to a jury that has already left. A good explanation contains an exit. Otherwise, clarity becomes compulsion. So before explaining again, use the echo test. Ask one question, before I say more, what do you think I mean? Their answer reveals whether the problem is understanding, disagreement, or the refusal to represent you fairly. If they summarize your point accurately and reach a different conclusion, you are not trapped in misunderstanding. You are standing in disagreement. You may answer their reasons, or end the exchange. Repeating your biography will not change the category. If their summary is wrong but their curiosity is real, make one clean repair. Do not defend every possible interpretation. Correct the one that is actually present. Then ask for the echo again. Clarity should become visible, not merely longer. If they refuse the question, keep changing your meaning, or weaponize each answer. Stop calling it a failure of eloquence. You cannot clarify with someone who needs you to remain guilty. Document, set a boundary, or leave. Do not feed distortion with more material. For the repair itself, use 3 lines. What I mean. What I am not saying. What happens next? This structure protects meaning from the flood of details that anxiety keeps producing. For example, I mean I cannot work this weekend. I am not saying the team does not matter. I am saying I need the schedule we already agreed. I will be available Monday morning. Then stop. The medium matters too. A 2026 series of randomized experiments found that spoken disagreement produced greater perceived understanding and lower conflict, on average, than written disagreement. People often predicted the opposite. We reach for the keyboard because it feels controllable. So when the relationship matters and both people are safe enough to talk, stop writing the legal brief. Ask for 10 minutes by voice or in person. Tone, timing, and immediate correction can carry what another paragraph cannot. This is a useful experiment, not a universal rule. Research on conversational receptiveness adds another clue. People respond better when language shows that an opposing view was considered, not merely defeated. Try, I can see why that looked unreliable. My view is different because of this fact. Here is what I can do next. Now decide whether the conversation deserves that effort. Use the stakes test. Ask what is truly at stake, reality, relationship, or ego. Each kind of stake requires a different kind of courage. When reality is at stake, clarity must leave a record. If a false accusation affects your job, answer briefly with dates, facts, and the next formal step. Do not bury evidence beneath a memoir about your intentions. When a relationship is at stake, understanding must travel both ways. Speak if it is safe. Use the echo test. Reflect their meaning before asking them to reflect yours. The goal is not identical opinions. It is an accurate map of the distance between you. When only ego is at stake, the courage is release. An anonymous comment, a closed mind, or a stranger's shallow story about you may require no correction at all. Silence here is not surrender. It is refusal to place your identity on their witness stand. Epictetus wrote that when an action follows clear judgment, we should not abandon it merely because the world makes a wrong supposition. First examine the action. Was it honest, proportionate, and just? If not, repair it. If yes, another person's suspicion is not a command to betray your judgment. This is the difference between integrity and reputation control. Integrity asks, what is the right action now? Reputation control asks, how do I force every witness to describe me correctly? One question produces conduct. The other produces endless testimony. Tonight, take the explanation you are still composing in your head. Write the version of you that you wish they would believe. Then cross out every sentence that requires control over their final opinion. Keep only facts, responsibility, boundary, and next action. Now run the echo test. Did they misunderstand, disagree, or distort? Run the stakes test. Is reality, relationship, or ego at stake? Choose the smallest honest response. Clarity is measured by what it resolves, not by how much it contains. When one final sentence is needed, use this. I have explained what I mean. You do not have to agree. I will not keep arguing about my intentions. The first episode returned the outcome to the river. The second closed the imaginary courtroom. This episode stops forcing a witness to deliver your preferred verdict. Next, we will face the boundary that creates the most explanations of all, saying no without feeling cruel. Which conversation needs clarification, and which only needs your exit? Name the path: disagreement, repair, or release. Then let another person's unfinished verdict remain unfinished tonight.